The commission meeting for September the 8th, 2025. Let's say thank everybody for being here. Well, thanks to Carter Canal, the new business for a couple of things. And the number of items for discussion at the work sessions. This time I'd like to ask Mr. Hammond, our county administrator, please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Commissioner Gully.
Present.
Commissioner Kennemer.
Present.
Commissioner Buckner. Commissioner McBride. Present.
We do have a quorum, and Dan, if you want to please stand, I'd like to ask county attorney to offer invocation and Mr. Chairman to lead our first vote.
God, our Father in heaven, we are truly blessed. We look around us at this time of year at the season change and remember and understand your gracious glory all around us. So God, thank you for that. Thank you for all the men and women who serve us each and every day but sometimes put their lives in danger to keep us safe. So we're thankful for them and we're thankful for the families. God, we'll pray your watch over us and guide us every day. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In your packet is the agenda for our meeting tonight. And as I mentioned, we do have two. Yeah. We have two items in our new business portion of the meeting, and we have several items in our work session. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda for the September 8th, 2025 Jackson County Commission meeting? Have a motion, have a second? Second. Have a second, all in favor say aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. I think we do have a presentation tonight, and I'd like to go over to Sheriff Rodney Hart.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. Listen, we're real proud of the people that work for us, and I know y'all are. You say it every meeting. We really appreciate it. And sometimes I do things above and beyond. And tonight, call our new major, Angie Louie Miller, to come over here and tell us what happened.
Okay. Corrections profession, career, as well as correctional nursing, never easy. On August 20th, Central Control received a call for help from our general housing and that someone was having a seizure. So our corrections deputies responded. Nurse Sherry Ushery, corrections deputy Eddie Jones. By the time they reached him, he was unresponsive, not breathing, and already turning gray. They were able to perform the Heimlich maneuver, remove the obstruction, and clear his airway. So I feel it was a great teamwork, and I feel like if it wasn't for them, things could have turned out differently. So I'm honored to work beside both of you, and Jackson County is very lucky to have you. Eddie? Congratulations. There. Come on.
I go rest that.
There we go. That's a good picture. Thank you.
Award you gave.
I'm sorry, a life-saving award. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Cassie, you want to do yours for? Yeah. Okay.
From Southern Health Partners, we're the medical contract company that runs medical. Today we're here to celebrate Sherry. Sherry exemplifies dedication and compassion in every aspect of her work, and it's very evident. She goes above and beyond the call of duty, whether it's picking up extra shifts or making extraordinary efforts to help her patients, like in this instance. It's with great pride that we recognize her. We have a life-saving award for her as well. Sherry, she excels in excellence and is committed to her job, very much so. And I can confidently say she's one of the finest nurses I know. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Probably not the first life you've saved up.
Oh, definitely not.
That's not.
And we should do this well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you do.
What's last name, Sherry? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. Now, what was the other engagement? Cassie, say Davis. Okay. Thank you.
It's always great to recognize your true good service with help and so thank you. This time we'll move into the new business portion of our meeting. First of all, it's always to approve of previous meeting minutes and tonight we have the minutes for the August 11th, 2020 session. If you've had a chance to read through that, do I have a motion to adopt the minutes for the August 11th, 2025 meeting and work session? We have a motion, have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. At our last meeting, we had a discussion about the process and the status of the work that's going on with our Jackson County Courthouse Annex. One of the items that we want to make sure we have there is the IT capability for that facility. And so a lot of work has been done for that. And I'd like to turn the floor over to IT Director Ross Boydston as we have a proposal for a contract for some of the hardware and software systems that will go into the courthouse. So Ross, let me turn it over to you.
Yeah, I think the last meeting you guys had a quote that was a bit more expensive than what that was. And for having some time to go through it a little deeper, dig into what we actually needed, without cutting any capabilities or service. I believe that quote right there will get us top of the line, just like the rest of the county. It'll be the same switches we have. It'll actually be an upgraded Wi-Fi system over there. And, that's also the professional services that help me install.
This does have a warranty aspect to it.
Yes, sir. It'll come with a Cisco warranty, which is 5-year warranty.
Funds will come out of
Fund 116.
160. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the purchase and installation of IT hardware for the Jackson County Courthouse Annex for C1 Solutions? Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. That's the last item in our work. Now, you missed this portion of the meeting. We'll now move into the work session. First item of discussion is just an update on the status of courthouse annex. And real quick, also talk about the courthouse. We are very close to closing out the work on the courthouse itself. Just in the cleanup of a couple items, a few items, a punch list remaining, and a couple items that have been noted that we just need to do some adjustment to. So we are about done with the courthouse. As I mentioned before, we did have the issue come up with our sewer lines from the courthouse. That was not part of the contract. That's another activity we're going to have to do. But when we found out that we did have sewer lines that had leakage at the bottom of the pipes, it became a requirement that we had to deal with that. We have awarded a contract for that in the neighborhood of about $23,000 to do that. And so that will get done shortly. And I think that will take care of most everything that we had under contract and we have found since we got started. So that'll be good. Regarding the courthouse annex, where we are there, again, we're very close to closing out all the work that is due over there. The foyer, what I will call the foyer for the courthouse, and all the workstations and partitions have been put in place. The first cleaning has been done there. And so next area that we'll get into, a punch list by our architect that will go through and do an assessment and then work off the punch list. We still believe that within a couple of weeks, we will be done with this activity over there. At that point, we will start the process of move-in. And so we will take the period from mid-September, well, end of September through the end of December for the move-in, put in all the IT equipment and other equipment that we have for us to move in there. And our plan is that we will transition operations for those offices that will be in the courthouse annex. We will transition operation from the courthouse to the Jackson County Courthouse Annex and open the doors over there on the 5th of January for their business. The parking lot that we are working, we will repave the existing parking lot, and we're constructing a fully parking lot. That work is in progress now. So that is an update. One other note, we have to assure that our first responders, if they ever have to respond to an incident that is aimed at that building, has the ability to communicate while in the building. We had the sheriff's office do a test last week throughout the building. We had good communications. We had the fire department today over there, and the city of police will do a test on there as well. If we were to end up failing that, and I don't think we will, we would have to put in a transmitted receiving system in the building, but we will know later when we get through with all the tests where we stand with that. So right now, things are going well with that. Next item is the Association of County Commissioners of Alabama is encouraging each of the county commissions across the state to adopt a resolution that support continuing our simplified seller's use tax program that's currently structured for the state of Alabama and make no changes to that. For 10 years now, the SSUT program has provided, I'm providing a statement they provided to us, has provided a stable, constitutionally sound framework for collecting taxes from online sellers who have no physical presence in the state. The program meets the guidelines set forth by the U.S. Supreme Court and has been deemed nationwide not only as a fair and effective solution that complies with federal law, but also as a model for countless states to implement. And every year, the SSUT program generates vital funding for state, county, and municipal governments, ensuring that communities across the state can maintain essential everyday services. Recently, the mayors of Alabama's largest cities have been pushing for changes that would disrupt the SSUT program's operations and call the program's constitutionality into question. And implementing any of these proposed changes would place this critical program in peril and jeopardize the funding used in every corner of our state to support law enforcement, economic development, infrastructure work, public safety, and many other central government services. The resolution proposed is to encourage the Alabama legislature to oppose any legislative changes that would disrupt the program in its operations or call the program's constitutionality into question. One point I would just raise, I'm not going to read this whole resolution, but there is a part here that says the SSUT program is now under attack by a small group of mayors who have been publicly criticizing the same program that since its enactment has provided more than $4.2 billion in essential revenue to the Alabama General Fund, the Alabama Education Trust Fund, Alabama's 67 counties, and the Alabama municipal government. So this resolution is in your packet. I would propose that we put it on the new business portion of our agenda for the next meeting. I'll give you time to read over that. But SSUT and the funding we get from the SSUT program is a critical source of funding for Jackson County and one of our top 4 sources of funding for our general fund in Jackson County. So with that, any questions or comments? If not, we'll put it on the new business portion of the meeting for the next meeting. Next, Public Works, go through annually a bid that we put out for the materials for our Public Works Department. So let me turn this over to our county engineer, Jonathan Campbell, for review again and handle bid submission.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners. On August 11th, a public bid opening was held in the courthouse. Well attended, and each of the items that were opened and read aloud are represented there in the red folders that are on your table, but probably more manageably in this list that you should find in your packet. The bid tabs and our review of the indicated vendor recommendations are listed on this list. And I'll just go briefly through some of that. Most of these are straightforward, and hence you'll see only bidder and low bidder. So the bold writing is the category, and then below that is our recommendation on the vendor for your consideration to award. Only bidder, low bidder. You will also notice there are a few, just a couple, I guess, that I would like to mention. There's a split. So if we see an opportunity there to save on splitting the items that are presented in that solicitation, that recommendation is what split award means. And then also there is one designation you'll notice on the last page under liquid calcium chloride, lowest responsible bidder. So to explain that just a little, the solicitation was directly for liquid calcium chloride. We had a bid item offered as an alternate to magnesium chloride. The calcium chloride that we were soliciting was 32%. The alternate offered was 30% magnesium chloride. So, and it was cheaper, a couple cents per gallon cheaper.
Yeah.
However, we are recommended the calcium chloride, and that is the vendor represented on this. And the reason that we are denoting that as lowest responsible bidder, as it met the specifications directly on what we advertised. So we've had that discussion with those vendors, and at the bid opening time, we try to be transparent for the whole process and indicate anything that we may see and take it head on before it gets to this stage. So just wanted to explain that lowest responsible bidder, because you will notice there's a difference there. The other one that is a little hard to iron out sometimes is the hot mix in place, the bituminous material in place. You'll notice that award this year is plant mix in place is the item, and our recommendation is Rogers Group Inc. So we've discussed this briefly, but we review past projects and we plug those numbers in. And the reason we do that is there's just so many categories and so many breakdown of each item. You know, different vendors could be higher and lower depending on those categories. So we really have to push that through some scenarios, and the best scenario we can use for that are past projects for this year. So we've done that, and we have sent our calculations to those vendors. So hopefully there's no disputing what we're recommending here, but I just wanted to share all of that with you in case you're approached by any of that. If you would like more information about any of the items you see, all of the information is in its entirety should be in that folder, but we want to help you if we need to walk through any of that between now and 2 weeks, if you know however much time we need. Our hope is that these would be ready to go by October 1 so that they can be utilized for our purchasing process.
Okay, any questions?
On the gas and diesel, this renewal, is that
Renewal. So, you know, it's in the advertisement, some of the bid items, there's a renewal clause in that solicitation. And that would give the winning vendor the opportunity to renew without a price increase. So if you see renewal, that's the case. Thank you for that question.
You got a question? Proposing to put this on new business for the next one. All right, John?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next item, we had a discussion in the previous meeting about the transfer station and feasibility of setting up one, here. In Jackson County, and the already solid waste department. So we asked, Director Skipper, we, take a look at that. So let me turn the floor over to Director Skipper.
Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. You have a proposal brought before you. This is brought to you by Labella. This is the same company that is doing our solid waste management plan. Y'all asked me to look more into it. I reached out to them, and this is kind of a breakdown of what they would do. This is what has to be done before we even look at putting a building up. This is a check with to make sure the health department's good with the location, also ADM. And it just has a breakdown of each task, what it will do, what they will do. Y'all got any questions? Free to ask.
Know that this is way ahead of getting something like this done, but is there any way to go to some of the transfer stations that are nearby and ask them the question, what the initial, what their cost was to set up a transfer station? The question, the reason I asked that, before we get into this, if this is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood, huge price tag. I don't know that we have the funding right now to initiate that right way. My concern. And so the question is, can we get that kind of rough estimate? I know it's rough by asking. And then if we see a feasibility, then we can.
I did ask him that, and he said that they're doing one in Henry County right now. And they just did another one. He said they're completely different. He said, it just depends on what you want. But I can get some numbers. It depends on what all we are wanting. I'm sure we just want something basic. But like he was telling me, he said the location that we're looking at, that if we can't have it there, but yeah, it doesn't matter what it costs, even if it is cheap, we can't have it.
So he hasn't taken any monetary figures yet?
This is what he recommended being the next step.
Well, you know, I'm just a simple guy, but if I can get an engineer that's across the street that deals with soils, wetlands, and things like that, they could look at the land in our public works department to see if that's feasible. And the desktop study that they're proposing, we can take care of most of that in-house. The site visit, same. And, you know, some health department, I mean, for local, we can get with them and see what their requirements are without contracting out a service to do that. And then, you know, if we get somewhat answers to that, then I get an estimate, maybe it's going to places about what the costs were and see if we want to move on out for feasibility instead of spending, you know, $11,000 or so just for a study to do this.
Yeah, I think for me, it was just a quick ask for some of the folks who've already built them to say that just tell us ballpark what it costs you to build a transfer station. I know you're using a transfer station right now that has had some renovation to it. I would feel better if we just had a ballpark with that kind of estimate that says what this is going to be within the realm of cost effective for us or something you can deal with. And if we get there, I agree. Then we go to the feasibility study and say, all right, let's go for it. We're going to have to get them engineering design and do a real thing for that. That's just my thing. So can we ask you for the next meeting just to give us contact some of the counties that have done transfer stations or companies and see if we can get a estimate of cost to build it out?
Yes.
Okay, fair. So we'll put this back on work session. I'm not saying throw this away right now, but let's just take that step first. Okay. Okay, well, thanks. Next item, discussion of renaming a county road. Let me turn it over to something.
So, guys, y'all know Cecil Wells and the work that he's done in not only Jackson County, but Scottsboro and other communities here in this county. Not only working with our inmates as a volunteer, planting trees, and just about any task that's ever been asked of him, he would take the inmates and take care of it, free of charge to the county. So Mike Hastings came to me some time ago and had an idea of renaming a road after Cecil. Of course, he's got some health issues right now, but he still, once or twice a week, he still gets them inmates out and does stuff, even though he's not feeling real well. And I just thought it was a great idea. But when the first proposal was that we rename the dump road, and discussions with Bill, we got to thinking that might not be really that appropriate to stay with the dump road. So I started looking for other places. I think y'all looked at County Road 76, and Lieutenant Holcomb's been coordinating this with Mike for several months now. And again, in morning coffee discussions, we discussed maybe it'd be a better idea if we had a place over close to the jail. And, Parks Avenue comes into the jail and then Burlington comes around. And there's a section behind the jail, which would be on, I guess, the west end of that jail, kind of the employees entrance area between what is now Parks and where Burlington comes around. And I think that would be a perfect place because most of his work has been done with inmates at the jail and they have a lot of respect for Cecil. I know that's a city road and I know you've had some preliminary discussions with the city about this on what we need to do to get that done. They seem to be good with this. We just would like y'all's approval to take the next step to go before the city council and see if they would approve that small section of road to be renamed Cecil Wells Drive. The sign's already been made.
Any questions? I'm gonna say, I think it's a wonderful idea. Yes. I think it's so well deserved and would just be great. I did talk to the mayor. He seemed very open to that, the road you're talking about. He asked that we get with the county or the city engineer, just to make sure. Now, I don't know what steps they have to, I don't know whether they have to do a public hearing, whatever there, but he just said to get with John and have that discussion with them, and then I'm very willing to have this request this be put on the agenda of the city council to consider. If we could take that step before, and then if we get no answer there, then we can find, let's say, a county road that would be appropriate. That's my thought.
Good. We, I don't want us to be anything to slow this down. I think it's great. Is there any way we could set aside the rules and go ahead and get this approved so that we're not standing?
We're not approved, we can't approve anything from the city.
No, I'm saying
We don't have a road.
we don't, I mean, we don't have to vote on this period.
Not yet. I think I'm gonna ask the question, if we were to rename a road that has a bunch of county residents on it, do we need to have a public hearing to rename that road? No, we can do that. Yes.
So we don't have to vote on this at all. As long as-
No, I think we want to vote on it if it comes back to the county. So, if it comes back to the county, we will have to vote.
I misunderstood. I
And then
thought,
it would be bring us a road candidate I think we got 76.
Would we want to pass a resolution urging the city to do that?
that's what I'm getting. I thought we need to approve or say we're in agreement so that you could move forward to the city. Is that not
Well,
what he said? I don't.
not a resolution, we could pass a motion.
We can pass
To
a
request
resolution.
the city to consider naming the road
Advisory.
after Cecil Wells. So that's fair. Okay, so do I have a motion to set aside the rules?
I'll make it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. I'll try to do this on the go here. Do I have a motion to request the city council of Scottsboro to consider naming a city road after,
Cecil Wells.
oh, what's his title though?
He's reserve captain.
Reserve Captain Cecil Wells.
Motion.
We have a motion, no second, no second, all in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Well, I'll carry that to the mayor.
Mike, do you want to say anything else?
Once it becomes a city road on calls, I know everything follows the dollar. The good thing is that, we've got the ability to make signs and it'll be maintained with approval of the city council by the city forever. And it's something that, I want something that will be there forever for him. And so, we can make signs for the shop, so I appreciate y'all. It's pretty quick, so.
Thank you, Mike and Craig. Thank you very much for your help.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Proposal to do this. Good. I was, we've already had a conversation with the mayor, so if we can know this is back again, that'll be great.
That'd be great.
Everything, I think that's the last item we have on the work session, so with that, one other. EMA. At the, I know that Josh, director of EMA, has been working on this for quite a while. And we were near having this resolution ready for adoption, I think about 2 months ago, and then there was a question came up, and Josh and I think other state EMA directors have been working to get that resolved. I will say at our ACCA conference, I think it was the state EMA director that was somebody that came to us and gave a briefing on this, and there are a lot of advantages to what is proposed in this resolution. So let me turn it over to you, Josh, and let you explain what we're asking for.
So we're looking at mutual aid, and right now, or before the act passed, it only covered disasters. It didn't cover anything non-emergency or outside of disaster response. So what this act does is it passes liability from the county commission to our responders if we go out to assist with boom days, rock the south, even with the sheriff going to Talladega. All that transfer of liability goes down the way it's supposed to legally to cover our guys if they're operating outside of Jackson County. And then it also covers other agencies coming to help us if we need it. So if we have a large special event, we pull extra resources from other counties, as long as they're signed on to this agreement as well, they're covered. That's the nuts and bolts of the change with that. Chairman said this has been going on for months with ACCA, so we ended up having a statewide mutual aid committee. We've had all kinds of meetings, and we didn't understand it initially, and finally got that ironed out with ACCA, and that's all this is covering non-emergency stuff.
I will say that ACCA have recommended that we adopt that. Yes, sir.
And if I might add, as far as sheriff's departments go throughout the state, we have all sheriffs sign a mutual aid agreement with one another every 4 years. And that agreement is good from county to county. If we go down to Talladega to work, we're working mutual aid with Sheriff Kilgore. If they had to send people up here, they're working mutual aid with us. So that agreement is in place for sheriff's offices. This would just strengthen that, I'm sure.
That's all this is doing is strengthening the legal liability side of it. We're in the same boat with NAMA, which is 23 counties that are Birmingham North, that are all signed on the county mutual aid, the same concept. And all this does is strengthen those relationships.
Principal feature of this resolution, and I'll read is in the resolve statement is that now therefore be it resolved by the Jackson County Commission that the director of the Jackson County Emergency Management Agency is hereby granted authority to enter this and future mutual aid agreements as needed for prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery of planned and unplanned events, emergencies, and or disasters. Can we wait until next meeting to put this on the agenda for new business to pass? Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody okay with us doing that? Then we will put this on new business. Josh, I want to say thanks for what you guys have done to work with our EMA directors to coordinate this. And I know you're working personally to help us with it. So thanks. That's the last item in our work session. So now we'll move to reports from the staff, county administrator.
I just want to thank everyone that came out to the budget meetings. They were very productive and good to see everybody out.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, the county engineer. Don, you got anything?
Thank you.
Okay, Caleb, you got anything else? Okay. Ross, you got anything? Okay. County attorney.
Oh, everything.
Okay, with
Bill.
that.
I mentioned when we talked about this a little while ago, we have a possible opportunity. We had a situation this weekend where power was shut off for some routine work being done. We weren't notified of it, so our radios went because our generator doesn't work automatically. It's an older generator, and through some communication with the power company and I think TVA has been involved too. There may be some money available for a very quick grant to either upgrade and or replace the tower generator for our main frequency and our backup frequency radio. So I just want to mention that to y'all. I don't know if you have to do anything about that, but it's something that will probably happen very quickly. But that money may be available even this week to start doing that. So it should be a big benefit to us should the power ever go down up on that mountain, which it has a tendency to do anytime it rains.
I think it's a situation where power companies taking the initiative and they working with TVA for TVA. So
That's correct.
Not sure we have to take any action.
Doesn't sound like.
Okay. But thanks for you getting in touch with them, because if you hadn't talked to them, I'm not sure we would have ever gotten that opportunity.
Well, when you show up on a Saturday morning because neither radio is working and you think that it's because of a weather issue, and it was a routine 3 or 4 hour maintenance thing, and we didn't know about it. I just wanted to be notified if they have it, because we don't have an address up there, so we don't get the emails or the texts when they're doing that. So we were just really trying to get put on that system where they could contact the sheriff's office should there be a routine outage, and we could make arrangements to be up there and manually start that computer, that generator. But this has gone farther, and now we may be able to either get a new generator or at least upgrade the one we've got. So I think it's a great thing. I just want to make y'all aware of that.
Okay.
I would like to say thank you to you as well, because whatever you just did finally got me approved to get their emails for planned outages. So when I know, you'll know.
Good.
Because I had the same argument with them. Because as soon as they go down, we were in the middle of dealing with weather, and high top radar did the same thing. It went out. So,
Thank you. With that, move to comments from the commissioner. District 4.
I'd like to say again, thank you to all our employees for the hard work they put in. You know, you look at the paperwork that Caleb and Jonathan and all you guys get together and you do these quotes, bids. There's a lot that go into getting this information to us, and we appreciate you all for all you do. But first, more importantly, I'd like to say thank you and thank God for the rapid response of our employees at the jail to save a man's life. That's awesome, and I couldn't be prouder. Thanks for all you do.
District 2, Commissioner Kevin.
Same as Kevin said, it's a tough place to work sometimes, and appreciate especially heroic actions that took place.
District 1, Commissioner Gold.
I'll just echo the same sentiments, doesn't matter what walk of life that you come from, a life saved is a life saved, and every life is worth saving. So we do appreciate our jail staff and the nurse and all the sheriff's office and their employees and public works and solid waste, all the employees and the courthouse employees and all for all the things that they do. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just, all I will add is, and I would say to all of us, it is a true pleasure to have the opportunity to work with these people that we have in our Jackson County family here that serves the public every day. So I just thank you for that. Our next meeting will be September the 22nd, 2025. That'll be an important meeting. That is the meeting that by law, we're required to vote on approving our budget. A lot of work has been done regarding that, and so we will present that at that meeting along with the other that will be there. So with that, that's
I had one thing.
Yeah.
Trina Johnson that works in the courthouse, she's improved to a status that she can go to rehab, so. Good news there.
So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
We have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Second, third, so all in favor then? say aye. Both the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for everybody.